Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting for the City of Dauphin for January 24th, 2022. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that Council accepts the regular council meeting agenda as presented. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting, that of the January 10th, 2022 regular council meeting. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5 consent agenda be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. And we'll start with item 5A, number 1, proclamation Bell Let's Talk Day. Whereas January 26th, 2022 marks the 12th annual Bell Let's Talk Day, a day of conversation and support for mental health. And whereas 1 in 5 Canadians will suffer from mental illness at some point in their lifetime, and yet 2/3 of those living with mental illness do not seek help due to the stigma. And whereas with COVID-19 affecting every aspect of our lives, Canadians are feeling the impact of the pandemic on their mental health. And whereas Bell Let's Talk Day promotes mental health awareness, acceptance, and action built on 4 key pillars: fighting stigma, improving access to care, supporting world-class research, and leading by example in workplace mental health. And whereas the City of Dauphin encourages you to join the conversation through Bell Let's Talk calls, texts, and social media interactions to drive Bell's donation to mental health past their commitment of $155 million. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim January 26, 2022 as Bell Let's Talk Day. Continuing on, item 5A, number 2, a proclamation for Heart Month. Whereas heart disease, stroke, and related conditions take a life in Canada every 5 minutes. And whereas Heart and Stroke's mission is to prevent disease, save lives, and promote recovery, powered by donors and volunteers, they strive to tangibly improve the health of every family in Canada every day. And whereas February is Heart Month in Canada, during which the Heart and Stroke Canvassing Campaign normally takes place to support ongoing life-saving heart disease and stroke research, health promotion, and advocacy. And whereas due to COVID-19 restrictions, Heart and Stroke is encouraging volunteers to launch online fundraising campaigns to connect with their community, share life-saving information, and continue to raise much-needed funds in a different way. And whereas we applaud and commend the thousands of volunteers, staff, and researchers of Heart and Stroke for their dedication and commitment, and wish them continued success. And now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim February 2022 as Heart Month. Continuing on with item 5A, number 3, outstanding accounts receivable added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following accounts receivable will be added to taxes on 2 Johnson Street, $385.41 for weed control costs. It's the same for 120 Oak Avenue, $385.41 for weed control costs, and 138 4th Avenue Southwest, $385.41 for weed control costs, totaling $1,156.23 as recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk. Under 5B, filing items, Association of Manitoba Municipalities News Bulletin for January 21st, 2022. Number 2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities FCM Connect for January 11th, 2022. Number 3, Manitoba News Releases, Premier Stephenson changes to the Provincial Cabinet. Health and Seniors Care, new Shared Health Board of Directors. And municipal relations rapid test kits to municipalities. Number 4, under B, Office of the Fire Commissioner, emergency lightning allowance for personal vehicles used by firefighters and department training during COVID-19 restrictions. Number 5, the Government of Canada. Canada welcomes the most immigrants in a single year in its history. Number 6, Dauphin Regional Health Center, Dauphin Healthcare Auxiliary ceases operations. Number 7, Prairie Mountain Health Plus newsletter for January of 2022. Number 8, Intermountain Watershed District Community Tree Program. Number 9, Manitoba Emergency Measures Organization information sessions for January 25th of this year to February 1st. And number 10, Communities in Bloom, the Bloomin' News for January of 2022, as recommended by the mayor and the city manager. So any questions or comments there? And seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for the January 24th, 2022 regular council meeting, that of the city manager. Take it away, city manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been a couple weeks since our last meeting, and I've had several meetings with different organizations in that time. Some of my usual updates, a COVID-19 update. During the last 2 weeks, the public health orders have not changed, and therefore our facilities are functioning as they have been. I will note that the province has changed how they report the COVID-19 situation to the public, and they're no longer reporting new cases, but are reporting hospitalizations. So that's just something that we have to recalibrate our senses to see how we gauge what's going on in our community. Next item is an update on the terms of reference and information page policy. So back in the middle or early 2021, I agreed with council that the City of Dauphin's policy outlining committees' terms of reference, external committees' information pages, or for organizations governed by others, in participation on those committees, that policy needed some review. So I have started that task, and as I think everybody knows, it's been a lot of work. However, January has proven to be a bit of quieter times, and I am progressing through. So my goal is that I will have that for Council's final review on February 7th at our Strategic Planning and Priorities Committee meeting. Also, over the last couple weeks, it's been really the beginning of the year, and I have been assisting other managers or other departments getting projects going. I've worked with finance on the 2022 budget forecasting. I've worked with Public Works on information gathering for a grant submission. And I've worked with economic development to help the new manager get up and running on several projects. And lastly, with human resources, as always, we strive for the safest possible work environment. And now specifically with the Omicron variant being prevalent, we continue to do so. We've had several people away from the workplace, but we are doing well to ensure that proper coverage continues in all of our usual services to our residents. And I'll conclude that we are still in talks with QP 3240 regarding negotiation of their contract. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions of the city manager's report? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for the January 24th, 2022 regular council meeting for the ICT manager. Any questions or comments regarding that report? I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that the finance accounts have been examined by council and be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals from 29186 to 29230, 45 checks for $2,014,217.25. No voided checks in the current range. Voided checks in past ranges, though. Check number 27808, 27826, and 28246, and no electronic payments in that range. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following engineering report for the January 24th regular Council meeting from the Director of Public Works and Operations. Any questions or comments regarding that report? Councillor Bellemare.
Hi there. I was just looking for my little hand to put up here. With regard to Mike's report, Mike, in there you had said something about a contractor is facing liquidated damages as the project continues past the set completion date. Can you clarify what that's referring to?
Sure. So as part of the Manitoba Water Services Board project, Manitoba Water Services Board would have listed or stated a completion date for the project in their contract. Contractor has the completion date's come and gone and the work is still outstanding or ongoing. So there's a daily penalty assessed to the contractor until the work's substantially complete. So I don't know what that amount is off the top of my head, but there's a daily charge back to the contractor until the work's completed. So.
And if I can add, that is something that was part of the initial contract. So the contractor knew that was something that would happen if he went past the due date.
Okay. And the liquidated damages, what's that referring to?
That's the penalty charge. So liquidated damage is a financial penalty or a monetary value per day in general. So
I understand. I thought it was sort of like a technical thing, like this thing was damaged and as a result there were. Okay, thank you very much. That makes sense to me now.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments? We'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following engineering staff report for the January 24th regular Council meeting for the building inspector back in December 2021. Any questions or comments regarding this report? I will call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Juba, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the report from the following committee: Dauphin Derailers Cycle Club Incorporated, year-end financial statements for October 31st, 2021. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Juba. Whereas Section 148(2)(b) of the Municipal Act states that a municipality's organizational bylaw must provide for the appointment of a deputy head of council to act in the head of council's absence. And whereas the City of Dauphin's organizational bylaw 02/2019 provides for the election or appointment of a deputy mayor for a one-year term beginning in January of each year. So be it resolved that Council appoints Devin Stakilo as deputy mayor for the period from January 24th, 2022 to the end of the council term. Any questions or comments there? Just before we move on, I want to thank Rodney Juba for all his input and work over the last number of months. He's been a great voice to me and very helpful behind the scenes. So thank you very much, Rodney, and congratulations, Devin. So I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Whereas the Parkland Chamber of Commerce will be hosting their 2022 lunch series, Chamber Appreciation Lunch and Chamber Celebration Night. Be it resolved that Council approves the purchase of tickets for the mayor, councillors, and senior staff to attend the 2022 Parkland Chamber of Commerce Lunch Series, Chamber Appreciation Lunch, and Chamber Celebration Night, with all costs being or to be borne by the city. Any questions or comments on those events? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eiler, seconded by Councillor Juba. Whereas the province of Manitoba's Building Sustainable Communities grant program is open to municipalities, nonprofit organizations, and charitable organizations seeking funding for projects that help to build thriving, sustainable communities that provide a high quality of life for Manitobans. And whereas the BSC program will fund a maximum provincial contribution of 50% funding up to $75,000 for eligible community projects, and 50% funding up to $300,000 for eligible capital projects. And whereas the BSC program guidelines indicate that a letter of support from the local government should be included with the application. So be it resolved that Council accepts this information correspondence dated January 13th, 2022 from Amanda Novak, Executive Director, Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, requesting a letter supporting DNRC's application to the Building Sustainable Communities Grant Program for a pilot project to provide affordable transportation for Dauphin residents to access retail and medical amenities. Further, be it resolved that Council commends Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation for their efforts to explore the need for affordable transportation in Dauphin and approves a letter supporting their application to the Building Sustainable Communities Grant Program to make this pilot project possible. Any questions or comments regarding that letter? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. A quick meeting indeed. So we move to councillor privileges, moved by Councillor Bellemare and seconded by Councillor Eilers. And we'll start online with Councillor Juba. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, before I get into my privileges, I want to be the first to congratulate Dauphin on being elected as the new deputy mayor. My term was short, but I enjoyed being the deputy mayor, and I still will have a strong voice on this council and any future councils that if I choose to run again, I will advocate. My job is to advocate for the community and in a team surrounding, and as we go forward, this is going to be a smooth transition, and we are in solidarity and we are functioning at a high level. So the community can be rest assured that this council, until the election is called, is running at a high efficiency level. So anyways, enough of that. Again, congratulations to Devin. My city council privileges go forward. On January 10th, I attended the regular council meeting at City Hall. On January the 11th, I attended the Dauphin and District Handy Van committee meeting via Zoom. It was my first committee meeting with the Handy Van. I look forward to more going forward. And actually on Thursday of this week, the Handy Van are having a special meeting to get their budget together. Should be an interesting meeting. On January the 13th, I attended the Parkland Chamber of Commerce Committee meeting at City Hall. Excuse me. On the 17th, I attended the Strategic Planning and Priority meeting at City Hall. For community events, January the 19th, I attended the Habitat for Humanity's monthly meeting via Zoom. Planning is underway for the Meaning of Home contest. There was a great write-up in the Dauphin Herald, and there was information on CKDM. This is an excellent way to involve the school-grade children, not only to get them to learn writing skills, but to learn about what it means to have a home and to learn about the Habitat for Humanity program in our community. And I want to congratulate Marianne Harvey for spearheading that on that project. Marianne, Sharon Pazook, and Ava and Kara Pazook. They are the foot soldiers that have been doing this for the last few years, and we've raised a substantial amount of money and awareness for Habitat for Humanity in the community. So I just want to make mention to those committee members that work so hard for us. And also during the month of February, we're going to be planning more check presentations, and we're looking forward to March when we can actually start clearing some snow and start the official build. So things are moving along great for Habitat, and again, thank you to the community for the wonderful support. And I just want to say congratulations to the Dauphin Health Auxiliary. After 122 years of serving our community, this organization has decided to disband. The organization not only fundraised, but members of the auxiliary provided many years of comfort to the many visitors, family members, and staff, and most importantly, to our patients in the hospital. They really they acted like the old candy stripers used to act. They were just advocates for the residents and patients, and for our, especially for the patients of the nursing home. They involved the residents in their fundraising projects, and it just got a lot of the residents over the years involved in being part of their own fundraising for themselves, and it's just given them some sense of ownership and being part of a bigger organization. So they also made many monthly contributions to our other organizations in our community, but their main function for fundraising was fundraising for articles for the hospital and the Dauphin Personal Care Home. They will be sorely missed for all their attributes, and I just want to finish my privileges by, I can't really tell, but I am wearing blue in honor of Bell Let's Talk campaign. This is a campaign which is, as mentioned in the proclamation, which is Wednesday, January the 26th. This campaign is to spark conversations and support for mental health. And I do have a toque from about 2 years ago. So if I think we were all given these toques a couple of 3 years ago. So get them out on Wednesday and send lots of texts and start the conversation, or share the conversation, or just say hi to someone out there in the community, because you never know if they might be having a bad day, and a friendly hello or a friendly smile goes a long way and making other people feel good. Mr. Mayor, that's my report for today.
Thank you very much, Councillor Juba. Councillor Bellemare.
Thank you. On January the 11th, I attended the Dauphin Derailers annual general meeting, and this is a very visionary and hardworking group that's behind the construction and maintenance of Northgate Trails. So it was good to attend their meeting and see all that they've accomplished and what their plans are moving forward. On the 17th, I attended the Strategic Planning and Priorities meeting. On the 19th, I attended the RM Liaison Committee meeting. There have been several initiatives that have been developed through this committee, and now that we have Martine, our new Economic Development Officer, he is the person who's been tasked to bringing these initiatives to fruition. So stay tuned, because there's lots of great things happening, and that all has sprung out of our work with the RM and our RM partner, and it's just great to see things like this that are now going to come into effect. On the 20th, I was at the Employee Relations Committee meeting. As mentioned, we are doing contract negotiations with one of the city's unions. Tonight, we passed a letter of support for building sustainable grants, and people who are keeping track of that will notice that we have had quite a few of these grants go forward to the province, and I'm just so impressed with the variety and quality of initiatives that we're going forward, and I think they all deserve money. So certainly the committee that is going to have to make that decision has their work cut out for them, because there are so many super projects. So I wish each of those groups well with their submissions, and thank them for the work that they're doing that led to those submissions. Councillor Juba gave a great description about the hospital auxiliary, and I too would like to extend my thanks to all the past and present members who have done so much for our health system, and you will be missed. It's sad to see that couldn't continue forward, but circumstances were such as they were. I'd like to thank Councillor Juba for your time as Deputy Mayor. You displayed a great deal of professionalism and thoughtful insight in this role. So thank you for that. And congratulations to our new Deputy Mayor, new Deputy Mayor Stakilo. You will also bring great things to our discussion. So great to see you having your opportunity in that role. And thank you to Dauphin Rec Services for all the maintenance that they've been doing during the winter. Was out in Vermilion Park yesterday, and they have a walking trail that's been plowed throughout all over through the park, so you can walk side by side with a friend. And also, too, I've been to the dog park a few times, and they've done some plowing there around the entranceways, so you can get in and out of that park safely with your pet. And that's an ongoing job. We've had a lot of snow this winter. We've had a lot of blowing snow that moves things around after things have been nice and cleaned out. And I just want to thank Dauphin Rec for those services, because we all need to get out and stay active if we're going to survive this winter. So thank you for that. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Eilers.
Thank you. On January 10th, I attended regular council meeting, the 17th planning and priority, on the 20th employee relations committee with contract negotiations, and on the 21st, the vet board meeting. I'd like to thank the city crews for their snow clearing efforts. I am really, really tired of shoveling, but I keep remembering what an extremely dry summer we had. And this moisture will help to alleviate and improve our low water levels. So it's a blessing, though sometimes when you're shoveling, you can't really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say that I want to thank the Dauphin Healthcare Auxiliary, as mentioned before, for their dedication over 120 years to the service, their service to the community. They have done many fundraising activities and have volunteered many hours. And I want to commend them on the gift shop that they ran for all these years, including making many treasures that were knitted, crocheted, and sewn, and aided in many events, i.e. the Christmas dinners and a lot of other dinners that when I was director of dietetics, I called on their help, and they were more than willing, and their kindness will always be remembered. Also, as mentioned before, remember the 12th annual Bell Let's Talk on January 26th, and join the conversation on mental health and awareness of yourself and also loved ones. Just remember that COVID-19 has been hard on everyone. And I'd like to offer condolences to Adeline Reel's family on her passing. Adeline Reel took her training at Winnipeg as a registered nurse and worked for many years as an RN, public health nurse, director of nursing, assistant executive director. I had the great pleasure of working with her. She was very dedicated to the patients and the nurses and our community. She and her husband, Clarence Coots Reel, were very involved in many community initiatives. And Carrie Reel, our former city councillor, was the daughter of this wonderful woman, and we wish her well. And I encourage everyone to stay safe. That ends my report.
Thank you, Councillor Eilers. Deputy Mayor Stakilo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For myself, a January 10th regular council meeting, and that's it for me for the past couple of weeks, just due to some isolation requirements and just feeling a little under the weather myself in the past little while. Just wanted to make a comment, though. I know it's been said before. I just wanted to comment on the Public Works and Operations staff for their expedient and fantastic job on snow clearing, as well as their other operational work. I had a chance to visit a couple of other communities this past weekend, and it's I always love coming home because it's always assured that the roads are plowed and it's easy to navigate around the city. So the work is fantastic. So thanks for that. One thing I wanted to pick up on that Councillor Juba mentioned regarding the handy van, I just wanted to pass on how exceptional the service was recently from a family member that had to use the service for the first time. And they were very happy with the level of service and just how friendly the staff was there. And it's reassuring. I was unable to help help my family members. So it's great to have that type of service in the community for sure. I too want to thank the Healthcare Auxiliary Board for all their work. It was a valuable asset to the community and will be missed. I personally want to thank Councillor Juba for all his hard work while in the role of Deputy Mayor. His professionalism and commitment to the role was extremely valued. So thank you, Councillor Juba. And I just wanted to say thank you to my fellow elected officials for the nomination and subsequent appointment to the role of Deputy Mayor. I ensure that I will strive to continue to work hard in my new role, and I'm looking forward to it. And with that, that ends my report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Stikilo. And for the first time this year, we move to Youth Council Member Catherine Kowalchuk. What do you got for us today?
Hello. So I just wrote some of the things that I've done over the past month. So every Monday for the past month, I have been volunteering at the Humane Society, and I have been for the past 2 years, and it is so fun. I love the animals, makes the time go by. Also, I have been teaching swimming lessons at the pool here. I also work as a lifeguard. So over the Christmas break, I taught some swimming lessons to kids from ages 5 to I think the most was 13. So that was really nice. And I have been trying to finish a lot of my schoolwork because our first semester is almost over, moving into the second semester. And I also work at Karina's, the restaurant, as a waitress. So that is all.
Thank you, Youth Council Member Kowalchuk. Quick question for you. Are you a dog or a cat person?
A dog person.
Okay. Thank you. For myself, January 10th, regular council meeting. January 11th, I attended the Dauphin Derailers annual general meeting. As Councillor Bellemare said, lots of great stuff, exciting stuff happening in that group. January 14th, meeting with Member of Parliament Dan Mazer to discuss a number of items. On the 17th, the Strategic Planning and Priorities meeting here at City Hall. On January 19th, the RM Liaison meeting as well here at City Hall. On January the 20th, the Employee Relations meeting here as well for contract negotiations. And just before I wrap up, a few thank yous to mention, as mentioned earlier. Just again, want to thank the group at the Public Works for just a great job of clearing not only the streets, but the sidewalks. I work with a gentleman named Don Flanagan, and he gets pretty fired up over the sidewalks sometimes. And he's a guy that has told me that the sidewalks are really good this year and the best he's ever seen. So congratulations and a job well done to the group at the Public Works. It's great to see. Again, I want to thank everyone who over the years put in time to the Dauphin Healthcare Auxiliary. Just a great group, 120 years. The article in the Dauphin Herald read the end of an era. It truly is. All of you will be no doubt greatly missed for sure. So thank you for everything you've done over the past number of years. And finally, I too want to thank Councillor Rodney Juba for his work and time put in over the last number of months. And congratulations to Devin Stikilo on being named Deputy Mayor this evening. And with that being said, moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo, be it resolved that this council meeting be recessed at 5:33.